Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
I was going to ask you that, like, where does he rank? Because I know a lot of people now want to, they want to put Brady in the conversation of greatest football player ever, things like that. A guy that's won many Super Bowls in Tom Brady. But does Jim? I mean, I guess it speaks.
I'm going to cut you off here.
Yeah,
I don't like ranking players I never saw play a single down. I don't do it. I don't think it's fair. Like, for somebody who's in their 20s and they start telling me about Michael Jordan, I was like, time out. You can go YouTube games and stuff like that, but unless you lived through the moments, your opinion doesn't carry any weight with me. So if somebody's going to say, well, where do you rank Jim Brown of all time? I won't do it. Now, some people will say he's the greatest football player of all time, and that's great. Those are the people who were around to see him and now have seen Tom Brady, Lawrence Taylor, anybody else you want to throw in that group. Perfectly fine. But I can't enter that conversation. I can tell you the greatest football players I've seen, but I'm not going to do it with Jim Brown. It's not fair.
I would say he's the greatest of his generation without being able to see it myself. That's like the fairest way to put it.
Maybe.
But yeah,
maybe. It's possible, but once again,
we're going by what other people are telling us, more or less.
But I don't like to do that because then you're just going on based on what that sounds ridiculous. Like, so you're going based on what somebody else is telling you. No,
I don't like. Also, I always didn't like when they'll be like, "Who's the greatest? Is it Jim Brown, Barry Sanders?" And then people will go, "Well, if you put Jim Brown in this era," I'm like, "Well, he didn't play in that era. Everyone, it's different. You can't do that. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to the other guys." So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it makes for fun conversation. I always think the stupidest conversation people have, and television executives love it because people, for whatever reason, are entertained by a Jordan-LeBron conversation. Think of how stupid it is for just a second here. If we all believe, and I saw every one of Michael Jordan's years, and I've watched every one of LeBron James's years, if one of them's 1 and one of them's 2, who really gives a damn? Like, if the beginning of the day you start a profession and you work as hard as you can, and somebody said, "God, you are the second best I've ever seen do it," I'd be like, "Damn, that's freaking awesome." And then even if I thought I was the best, I'd be like, "Yeah, great. If you think I'm 1, awesome. If you think I'm 2, terrific." Like, I cannot believe that people like shoot holes. See, LeBron, look, he can't do this. He can't do what? Like, why can't we just say, this is great? This is great too. Why does it always have to be an argument? I mean, why? It drives me up a freaking wall.
See, at this point, I don't even like that I was even starting the question because you fit right in with what we do on this show, the way that we approach things. We actually don't like ranking players and trying to say, like, this guy could be in this era, this player could do this. This is the greatest of all time. This team's better than that team of this era and that era. All of those things. It just, like you said, I love that I was taught the history of basketball by my dad and the history of sports by a lot of people in my family. And people taught me about Jim Brown. They taught me about Michael Jordan, all these great players. They showed me video of it, but I didn't actually get to see it live. So I can't say as much as someone that did in that conversation. So yeah.
You're entitled to an opinion.
Absolutely.
I will say that. And I tell my kids this, when they're like, "Well, LeBron's got to be better than Jordan." I was like, you're entitled to that opinion. I won't listen to it because you never saw Michael Jordan play. Like, if this is the conversation we're going to have, you have to experience certain things, and that's okay if you didn't experience it. But, like I said, watching old games on YouTube does not do it. It was the day in, day out of being able to watch people, watch how they interacted, watch how they played games. It's different when you live through it.